Welcome, everyone. We are excited to walk through the strategic partnership between Altvia and Dakota today. So thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedules to join us. By way of introduction, my name is Alina Garcia. I'm a senior customer success manager here at Altvia. So currently working and consulting with our current clients to achieve both short-term and long-term goals when it comes to technology.
Hi, everyone. My name is Rob Robertson. I'm the Chief Revenue Officer here at Dakota. I help lead the sales, marketing, and customer success on our software business.
And hi, everyone. I'm Dominique Mortalidi. I'm an account executive at Dakota focused on the CRM integration side of things, as well as the strategic partnerships.
Great. So today's session is aimed to be collaborative. It's an opportunity for you all to ask questions, learn a little bit more about Altvia and Dakota individually, but also as a joint partner, how we can bring value to your firm and hopefully start improving overall operations. So feel free to throw questions in the chat at any point. It's in the bottom right-hand corner. We will do our best to answer them. If we don't get to them, we'll be sure to follow up with you afterwards. And then lastly, I guess by way of format, we're actually going to take a product-led approach today. So being able to demo our integration. Before we do that, I do think it's important to give everyone a brief overview of both Altvia and Dakota, ultimately, why we've decided to partner. For those of you who aren't familiar or on the call and are not customers of Altvia, we have developed a purpose-built platform specific to private capital markets. We take a little bit of a unique approach in the market that's ultimately empowering GPs to provide a best-in-class experience for LPs. We're doing that through a handful of different products. The first is going to be a CRM, which you're going to see here in a little bit. The second is a business intelligence engine. And then lastly, an investor portal and data room. So with this solution, ultimately, we're providing users not only the ability to understand all of their investor data, but then also start tracking their fundraising pipelines and understand, all of those affiliated efforts alongside that. So that was about a 3-sentence overview of what we do. Rob and Dom, if you want to go ahead and give an overview of Dakota, that'd be great.
Sure. Yeah, so we started the business back in 2006 as a outsourced sales and marketing firm for boutique investment managers, right, that hired us to go raise capital for their strategies. We've worked with a number of different firms in a variety of different asset classes, from highly concentrated equity managers all the way to private credit and private equity. And when it comes to what we focus on from a channel perspective, we really call on everybody. RIAs, multifamily offices, those are near and dear to our heart because we've called on those since the early days, trying to scale smaller strategies. And then as we worked up, covering the foundations, endowments, public pensions. We've raised a little over $25 billion for those managers. We work with 8 today. Those are all very long-standing partnerships. And we have 9 folks on our fundraising team that are raising capital for them. 4 years ago, in April of 2019, we came up with the idea to take our Salesforce CRM that we have built as fundraisers and commercialize it and offer it to other investment firms out there that would like to have really accurate data on the institutional and RIA channels. And truly what's unique about us is we're the only database provider that actually is the client, right? We're using it every single day and we're calling on these pools of capital. And unfortunately, relying on web scraping to pull in all of that information, you end up with a massive data dump and your salespeople are extremely frustrated trying to figure out people leaving jobs and who's the right email address. We've completely eliminated that. And that's why I think we've grown so quickly. And today have over 1,000 investment firms that rely on our data. We talk to a ton of firms that, they have major frustrations with their CRMs as well.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely. I mean, every org is different. Every company is different. So that they're in different places within their internal sales force. They could be on the onboarding process of still trying to figure out what they need to do to get the most out of their CRM. They could have duplicate issues from pulling it too many data resources where it's just creating duplicates. Our integration actually makes it so it's a manual process and you get to pick and choose what information makes the most sense for your firm. But when we get on these calls with customers, they want us to help with their CRM, and we don't want to be in the CRM business. We want to help our customers with data and keeping it up to date, but we don't want to help configure and get into the weeds of everything. And that's really where Altvia comes into play. They are that support that our customers need while we're the data support.
Exactly. And something that's very interesting along those lines as well, of course, is we are in the data architecture world where we want to be able to take all of the nuance that comes with tracking institutional investors. How are we tracking RIAs and how that money is being allocated? So we are very familiar with that data architecture and making sure that it makes sense, not only from a data workflow perspective, but also being able to report on it. A lot of the times when we're talking to customers or prospects, they're struggling with the ability to identify where capital is being allocated from. We have the ability to consolidate all of that and really easily make sense of it all. Really what we find, and especially as we're in conversations with prospects, with customers, there's a lot of challenges that they're facing. And every single time, the root cause of those challenges is data. Exactly what Dom was just saying is that they're logging into different systems for different insights, right? But their data is stale, it's inaccurate. Nobody really knows what's true or is confident on what's in those different systems. So this is a huge problem, right? When you're responding to an investor request or if you're actively fundraising, trying to figure out where to best allocate your time. So essentially, with our partnership, we're providing the best of both worlds. Right? On the Altvia side, your CRM is all of your proprietary data with your interactions, your contextual notes, even down to investor exposure or projected returns. But on the other half of that, and what Dakota is extremely powerful in doing, is quick access to market activity. How has, investing criteria shifted with market instability? Or who do I need to be hitting up at this firm where operational changes are likely occurring? So the blend of these data sets are extremely important for end users to be able to maintain those strategic conversations and then ultimately start identifying those high impact, fundraising targets. I know we've talked a lot on an overview both of Dakota, on Altvia, kind of how we approach the market with our partnership. So I'm going to go ahead here and actually transition into the demo. As you can see, I am currently in the AIM platform. What's important to note is users are still going to have access to all of their AIM CRM specific data, right? So your accounts, your contacts, all of those out-of-box custom objects that we're supporting, your fundraising pipeline, your investors, users are still going to have quick access into all of that. Where it gets interesting and where Dakota enters the picture is being able to enrich all of that proprietary data with the different way that Dakota is segmenting their data set. One of which, as you can see, is looking into the metro areas, right? So as a fundraiser who is looking to go, raise capital, I can either keyword search a city or I can select from, the list provided here. For example, if I click into Philadelphia, first off, Dakota's providing a quick summary at the top here, and they're also providing data in media form to watch a quick video with an update that way as well. As we scroll down, something that's also really interesting here is Dakota's also segmenting the different account types for the users, right? So we can see RIAs, corporations, insurance, right? All of this is going to be out of box and accessible, automatically segmented by Dakota. Again, where it gets interesting and where AIM and Altvia come into the picture is we know that we're going to want to track the data for an RIA account a little bit differently than a family office, for example. As we are linking that data or creating those new accounts, it's really important that we're structuring the CRM in a way that makes sense, not only for viewing at the account level, but then also rolling up at the report level. All of that is going to be incorporated in our partnership and the integration at large. Something else that I quickly like to highlight here is looking into these different contacts, right? So especially as we're thinking about metro areas, as we're thinking about getting on the road, we want to know exactly who is in that market, who is sitting in that Philadelphia home office that I can potentially set a meeting with. This is really unique to Dakota, and it's extremely prevalent for folks who are accessing this integration, so they know exactly who is sitting where and how to structure that data living inside of your CRM. From a mechanical standpoint, when I click into all of these accounts here, you'll see that white space here is reserved on the left-hand side. There's going to be a nice little purple icon where my mouse is hovering here, indicating that an account already exists inside of the CRM. If it doesn't exist, I can easily click into the account and view all of that underlying data, right? I can continue to link that for the continuous enrichment of the Vanguard group, or I can go ahead and create this net new account, right? Not only do I have the ability to create that account, pull in all of that underlying data, but as you can see, I can also start pulling in all of those contacts. So with a couple clicks, as you just saw, a lot of flexibility of reducing the time that it takes to get data into the CRM, but then also focus on what's most important is how are you communicating to them and who are you communicating to at these different accounts. Not only does Dakota support the metro area component, but we're also providing users with the ability to effectively search or mine the data that lives in Dakota. I can also start using all of the filter criteria built into the integration as well. So for example, if I'm looking for investors with a minimum of $1 billion AUM, I can go ahead and type that into the filter here. I also have the ability to search specific account types. If I'm wanting to look at endowments, I can go ahead and apply that filter. I also have additional investment preferences. So as you can see, a handful of options that I can select from this dropdown, and then go ahead and search that. Everything in Dakota is going to immediately populate. As I scroll down, we can immediately see it looks like we already have some of these accounts that already exist inside of the CRM, indicated that by that purple link icon. Now I can start looking at same kind of mechanics, right? Now I can start looking at that underlying data here once again, decide if I want to link it, decide if I want to create that new account and pull over those contacts. Once I'm doing that, then I can start doing this in bulk, right? I want this, I want that, and then I'm going to go ahead, create this account, pull over the related contacts, or maybe I just want to continuously enrich this. So from a mechanical standpoint, it becomes very easy for users inside of AIM to start accessing all of the data that lives inside of Dakota, really without having to jump between two different apps all day. And then, of course, the next step of that is we want to make this data actionable, pulling it into the CRM where you can then start focusing on who do you need to be reaching out to? How are you maintaining our relationship with these different accounts? All of that is accessible and achieved through this partnership as well as the integration at large. Not only do we have the ability to look into those metro areas, of course, we just walked through a search, but Dakota is also providing a lot of materials around these different investors as well. Manager presentations being one of those. As you can see here, I can look into one of these manager presentations. I can scroll through, view any of those performance reviews, anything that was really included at large here. And then what's nice too is that's not going to take up any of your storage in Salesforce. So really big benefit here of being able to access a lot of those bulky materials without having to pull that into the CRM that ends up taking up a lot of your storage. Same thing here goes for those public plan minutes. And then also being able to plan different trips, again, when you're actively fundraising or out raising capital around different conferences to continue to network and ultimately increase your reach. So really, what we want to do here with our partnership from the Altvia side, we want to give you a space to effectively house your data in a really mindful way from an architecture standpoint. And then additionally, with Dakota, you get the best of both worlds. Not only do you have access to all of your proprietary data inside of AIM, how you need to maintain your relationships, but we also want to make sure that the data inside of AIM isn't getting stale. So when you are actively fundraising, it's a huge benefit of being able to blend these data sets together so the team is eyes wide on how to maintain the pipeline and how to achieve the different sales targets.
Elena, thank you for walking through that demo. That was amazing. I know you more focused on the marketplace side of things. So if anyone on the call wants to see the amazing things Altvia can do with that data and within the CRM, please don't hesitate to reach out. I know it was more focused on the data marketplace side, but we really would love to show you every aspect of the CRM and what it can do.
Yeah, it's something also pretty important to touch on. I know I touched on it a little bit during the demo, but Altvia is also in the business of making sure that the CRM is going to be tailored and customized specific to your workflows, especially when it comes to the architecture of your investor account or understanding the nuance of how you are fundraising. So that's all incorporated during the Altvia onboarding process as well. So I know we have some time left, and we do have a few questions entered into the chat. So thank you for those. It looks like the first one and the favorite one, what does it all cost? Rob, Dom, if you want to go ahead and cover that on the Dakota side, and then I'll touch on what Altvia's pricing model looks like.
Sure. Our pricing model is pretty simple. We charge $15,500 for an annual subscription to Marketplace that comes with one user login. And then any additional login that you would like to have with that is $1,000 per user. The only other potential additional cost would be for our Salesforce application. That's $7,500 a year for Dakota Marketplace to sit directly within your Salesforce CRM so that you don't have to toggle back and forth and can live right there in your CRM and get all the data plugged in and updated for you.
And for us on the Altvia side, for AIM, which is our CRM, it's a per user cost based on number of users. And then we also offer the business intelligence platform as well as the investor portal, which we offer as platform products to bundle alongside AIM. And then it looks like the next question here, what does the onboarding process look like? So I'll go ahead and tackle this one. For us, it consists of 3 stages. Right. So the first one is the collection and the migration of all of your data. The next is going to be system configuration, right? The customization and the support for your workflows and your nuances. And then the last one is going to be the training and go live for the solution.
So for Dakota Marketplace, the onboarding process, day one, right, you have a dedicated account manager. So we'll set up typically a 45 to an hour onboarding call with all of the users that are going to be using Dakota Marketplace on your end, and really just trying to figure out how you're going to use it, right? What's your use case? Are you covering the institutional channel, RIA, and really tailor the onboarding demo to exactly what you want. But it really, the platform is very intuitive, but I think just things like running reports and, hey, I want to be able to see every family office that invests in private credit in Pittsburgh, right? And making sure that you have all of those reports run and you know how to do those easily. That's basically the onboarding call. And then from there, you have 24/7 access to your account manager.
Yes. And then on the integration side, your account manager will introduce you to our CRM integration team. We'll schedule an hour onboarding call. First 30 minutes, we're going through page layouts and implementation. And then the other 30, we're making sure you guys are comfortable using the integration and are trained to the most of your capabilities.
Looks like we have time for one more question. It is, who do we reach out to? So on the Altvia side, feel free to reach out to myself, or if you're a current customer, reach out to your customer success manager. Also, feel free to reach out to the growth@altvia.com email. We can go ahead and align you with the appropriate person and set up a demo and move forward from there.
Yeah, on our side, you can reach out to me if you want to learn more about Dakota Marketplace and the product. All of our emails are on our website, so you can reach out to any of us.
Yeah, and if you're a current customer of Marketplace, feel free to reach out to your customer success manager or myself. We're happy to help you or hop on a call to answer any questions you guys have.
Thank you so much, everybody, for joining the webinar today. Hopefully it was informative. Looking forward to connecting and discussing some of these products going forward. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.